So polarizer is a device that transmits the one polarization state in and another, and it blocks the another state. Okay. So here polarizer means you know that when a light wave is traveling, it will be traveling in the two orthogonal plane. So in that particular two orthogonal plane, okay, so horizontal and vertical we are going to divide. So when we divide the horizontal and vertical, okay, so polarizer if you are using, so polarizer will block the one particular state and it will allow the another particular state. So that is the functioning of a polarizer. Okay. So polarization means we are going to divide the wave into the perpendicular vibration and parallel vibration. So polarizer, if you are talking about, it is a device that transmits one polarization state and blocks the other. Okay. So next thing is what Faraday rotator. So when we are talking about the Faraday rotator, it is a device that rotates the state of polarization of light passing through it by a specific angular amount. Okay. So a Faraday rotator. So rotator means what? It will rotate the signal. That is very simple. So how it is going to rotate? It is a device that rotates the state of polarization of light passing through it by a specific angular movement. Okay. So what is a particular movement? So we are discussing. So next thing is what birefringent plate. So this particular birefringent plate will split the light signal entering it into the two orthogonally polarized beams. Okay. So that means what they should see when we are talking about the splitting of the wave into two polarization state. Okay. So we need to understand one thing. What you need to understand? There should be a device which should do the splitting operation. What is that particular splitting operation? Birefringent plate splits the light signal entering it into the two orthogonally polarized beams, which then follow different paths in the fiber material. Okay. So that is these are the three fundamental understanding of polarizer, Faraday rotator, and birefringent plate. So please make a note of this one, all of you. So once you've taken this one, we'll go for the next thing, that is optical isolators. So this diagram is very clearly indicating that. Okay. So you can see that birefringent plate. Okay, in the first top diagram, you can see that there is a birefringent plate. So now here input wave is being applied from the left side. Okay. So when the wave is being when the wave is imposed to the birefringent plate from the left side through the fiber, you can see that the wave is getting splitted. Thus wave is getting splitting into the O ray and E ray. That means what? Orthogonal magnetic ray and electrical ray. Okay, perpendicular ray and parallel ray. Two ray it is going to be splitting. So that particular two ways are entering into the 45-degree Faraday rotator. These two rays are entering into the 45-degree Faraday rotator. Ray is entering into the 45-degree Faraday rotator. They are not going to alter anything. But while entry, there is no problem. While the exiting, there is a change in the angle of rotation, angle of movement. That is 45-degree. It is going to be rotated. Once the 45 degree is going to be rotated, okay, so that particular two rays So am I audible, people? The content is visible, right? All of you? Dear students, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Because network problem was there, suddenly it went off and it came, that's why. Okay. So when you see this particular thing, the optical isolator, what so in the left side happens like birefringent plate when the wave is entering there. So obviously it is going to be splitting into the two rays. When the two rays are entering into the 45-degree Faraday rotator, the two rays also will get 45-degree angle of deviation, I can say. And once they birefringent plate at the end stage, okay. So there is no rotation, okay. There is something like we are going to take the ray out of it, okay. So you can see that once the wave is having the two polarization state, it will get splitted. But when the after splitting, it cannot split once again further. That is what the condition here. Okay. So one time it will get splitted, but two times it is not going to be splitted. But with the what do you call for that? It will make the two rays to move in the only one direction. Okay. That is the last stage birefringent plate. So you can see the orientation curved side and the perpendicular or the normal slide. You can see that one diagram. So the reverse process has been shown in the diagram 2, that is a below diagram. So you can see that also. So from left to right, we understood that how it is going to be happen. From right to left also, the same thing is going to happen. You can see there. Okay. So I'll give you 5 minutes of time. Please write this particular diagram, because when the question is asked, explain the optical isolators, you need to answer with respect to this particular diagram also. Please write this particular diagram, all of you. Please write this particular diagram, all of you. So write neatly this particular diagram, all of you. So once you've taken this one, we'll go to the next slide. That is okay. So now optical isolators. So when you are talking about the optical isolators, so optical isolators allow light to pass in only one direction. That is very, very simple. Isolation means what? The wave should not get mixed anywhere. So here optical isolators allow the light to pass in only one direction. So once it is the privilege that optical isolators are allowing the light to pass in only one direction. So this particular prevents the scattered or reflected light from traveling in the reverse direction. Okay. So this particular process will prevent the scattered light. Okay. So sometimes what happens when the wave is moving from one side to another side. Okay. Some scattered and reflection may happen. So when that particular reflection and scattering is happening, so it may bounce back. So optical isolators, if you are using, so that particular bouncing back will be avoided. Okay, that particular bouncing back will be avoided. This prevents scattered or reflected light from the traveling in the reverse direction. So if you keep backward traveling light from entering a laser diode and probably causing instabilities in the optical output. So if you keep backward traveling, so now you are not supposed to keep it. Okay, so if further, so if in case if you keep the backward traveling light from entering a laser diode and possibly causing instabilities in the optical output. So what happens if the wave is reflecting back? So what will happen? It will happen like if you keep backward traveling light from entering a laser diode and possibly causing the instabilities in the optical output. Instabilities will happen. Why? Because one direction in the laser, it is the wave is traveling. Okay, the wave is made to travel in only one direction. But when the another wave is coming in the reverse direction, that monochromatic city and that particular high density of light will get affected. So that will cause the instability. That will cause what? That will cause the instability also. That is why I can say that. So if you keep backward traveling light from entering a laser diode and possibly causing instabilities in the optical output. So that you should be keep it in mind. So polarization independent isolator made of three miniature optical components. Okay, so write down all of you. Optical isolators allow the light to pass in only one direction. So this prevents the scattered or reflected light from the traveling in the reverse direction. So if you keep backward traveling light from the entering a laser diode and possibly causing the instabilities in the optical output. So a polarization independent isolator made of three miniature optical components. What are the three miniature components? Okay, we'll see. So your optical circulators, we'll see. So all of you please take down the optical circulator diagram. Can anyone confirm me that content is visible, right? Or else you have some disturbance. Okay, Fine. So next we'll go to the optical circulators. So here optical circulators, there will be 3 ports. Okay, there will be many ports. So for example, we have taken only 3 ports. So you can take this particular diagram, all of you. So now here port 1, port 2, port 3. Somebody want to ask anything? Okay. So in the port 1, you can take the consideration that there is a port 1 in that A is the input port, inlet, and C is the outlet. Okay. So when the wave is entering in the port 1, okay, through the A, so it will go to the port 2 and we can take it from the A only. For identification, we have made A, B, B, C, C. Okay. Similarly, whatever the input we are feeding at the B end of the port 2, we can take at the port 3 B end only. Okay. Similarly, whatever the input, whatever the signal you feed in the port 3 C end, we can take it back at the C end of port 1. That is called what circulator. That means what? From one port to another port, the signal is being circulated. Okay, that is what exactly called as what? Circulators. Optical circulators from one end to another end. So please make a note of this particular diagram, all of you. So you can make a diagram. So once you write the diagram, we can go for the next thing. So here optical circulator explanation for this. Optical circulator is a non-reciprocal multi-port passive device that directs the light sequentially from port to port in only one direction. So that means what inlet means what inlet only. We cannot feed the output. Okay. So inlet we can feed only input. Output port we can take only the output. Okay. There is no other way. There is no other go. Is it clear to you? So that means what that is called as what in only one direction we say. An optical circulator is a non-reciprocal multi-port passive device that directs light sequentially from port to port in only one direction. So in the 3-port example, so we have taken the 3-port for this particular example, optical circulator. In this particular example, we can say that what I told you in the explanation part, the same thing is been written here also. So you can see that an input on port 1 is sent out on port 2 and an input on port 2 is sent on port 3. Similarly, the input on port 3 is sent out on port 1. That means what is a rotation? 1 input and 2 output. 2 input, 3 output. 3 input, 1 output. So for input and output, there are separate pins are there, separate provisions are there. So that you should be keep it in mind. Okay, so you can make this particular sentence. Can write this particular sentence. So please take this particular thing. So once you've taken this one, we'll go to the next thing, that is passive linear bus performance we are going to understand. So now we are in the equations format and all it will come into picture. So for evaluating the performance of linear bus, all the points of low power loss are to be considered. So now here, when you're talking about the performance, so on what basis we understand the performance? So we understand the performance in such a way that what are the different losses we will encounter. So when we remove the losses from our day-to-day, from our what do you call for that day-to-day communication through the optical fiber, so we can evaluate the performance. How much less loss is there, that much good performance the bus is showing. That is what exactly the meaning. Okay, so here the ratio, okay, AO of received power Px to the transmitted power P naught. That means what? The AO, okay, the ratio AO of received power Px to the transmitted power will give the performance. AO into Px divided by P0 equal to 10 to the power of minus alpha x divided by 10. So where alpha is a fiber attenuation constant, okay, where alpha is a fiber attenuation constant. So this is the formula is being given. So you can please make a note of this one particular formula, all of you. You've done this one, I can write this particular diagram, all of you. Losses in the bus coupler. So losses in the bus coupler, I can write that power which is transmitted and power which is received. Okay. So this particular diagram, all of you take down. So later we'll explain this. What are the different parameters will come into picture and what are the equations related to that one. So now we can see it in the particular diagram. Okay. So here there are some terms like CT, C suffix T. That means what? Coupled power, transmitted power. Okay. So FC means the power at the fiber end. Okay, fiber joints, I can say. So I can see that left hand side, right hand side, and where the transmitter and receiver is there, no, that side also FC will come. That means what? Wherever the connection is there the power will loss will come into picture. Okay. So the coupler is there and the fiber is there. Okay. So the fiber is inserted in the coupler so that in the coupler transmitter and receiver part also can be inserted. Okay. We'll discuss one by one. This one, please make a note of this one, all of you. So once you take this particular diagram, please let me know. So once you take this one, we'll go to the next thing. That is, you can see that the connecting loss is given by LC. Okay, loss C. Okay, loss C. That is LC is equal to minus 10 log 1 minus FC. What is that particular FC is? FC is a fraction of optical power lost at each port of the coupler. So when you see the coupler, you can see that there are 4 ports here. So left hand side, right hand side, top and bottom. Okay, 4 and 4 sides. Okay, so 4 sides are there. 4 side means what? 4 FC will come into picture. So now that is the given by connecting loss. Wherever the connection is there, so tap is there. So there we can see that connecting loss will come into picture. So next is what tap loss. So a tap loss means LC is equal to once again. So minus 10 log CT. What is particular CT is? CT is a fraction of optical power delivered to the port. So here you can see that from the transmitter, CT is the power which is delivered to the port, and at the receiver we are going to receive the signal. So you can make a note of this particular two equations. Connecting loss LC is equal to minus 10 log 1 minus FC, where FC is the fraction of optical power lost at each port of the coupler. So tap loss is given by LC equal to minus 10 log CT, where CT is a fraction of optical power delivered to the port. So now here next thing is what throughput coupling loss is given by. So throughput is L through L THRU. Through is equal to minus 10 log 1 minus CT whole square. 1 minus CT whole square. So next thing is what intrinsic transmission loss is given by Li. Okay, L suffix I is equal to minus 10 log 1 minus Fi. So what is particularly Fi? Fi is the fraction of power lost in the coupler. That means what? In the coupler, that wave is traveling. Okay. So what exactly happens when the wave is traveling? There are, due to some attenuation, due to some problems and all. Okay. The power will get lost. That is called fraction of power lost in the coupler. So I can take this particular diagram. Please take this particular question. all of you. Once you write the equation, you can see that, okay, here you can see that FC is what? The power, the fraction of power which is lost at the connecting regions. Okay, so now we can see that the rectangular or square shape is there, no? That is the coupler. Okay, that is the coupler. So inside the coupler, we have a optical fiber which is inserted. So in the coupler, there are 4 ports. So in the 2 ports, fibers are inserted, and in another 2 ports, the transmitter and receiver is being inserted. Okay, so now FC is the fraction of power which is lost at the connecting regions of the coupler. Now CT is the fraction of power which is transmitted, okay, from the transmitter, which has been traveling in the coupler. So now Fi, so Fi is what? Fi is the fraction of power which is lost in the coupler. That means what? Due to the losses which are there in the coupler, okay, so maybe the attenuation, maybe some other kind of losses, maybe the scattering losses. So this particular Fi, okay, is the fraction of power which is lost in the coupler. So now this, after these two equations you must write down. That is throughput. When you're talking about the throughput, L through equal to minus 10 log 1 minus CT whole square. What is a particular CT? We have taken in the last slide. That is CT is the fraction of optical power delivered to the port. Okay, that means what? Delivered to the port means what? Transmitted from the transmitter and received at the receiver end. That is delivered to the port. So now intrinsic transmission loss, Li, intrinsic transmission loss, Li is given by, okay, Li is equal to minus 10 log 1 minus Fi. Okay, so I just read out why, because that particular equation is not clearly visible. Okay, so I just cut and paste it here. I thought it will come nicely. Okay, anyway, I'll when uploading the notes once again, I'll edit this one and I'll send you. So as of now, just take my words. Okay, so write down that Li is equal to minus 10 log into 1 minus Fi. What is Fi? Fi is a fraction of power lost in the coupler. So we are not mentioning that why it is lost, but it is a loss. Because of, you know that in the second module you learned that what are different kinds of losses which are encountering. Okay, the fiber attenuation between the two stations. The fiber attenuation between the two stations, if you're considering, assuming the stations are uniformly separated. Assuming stations are uniformly separated by the distance L is given by, okay, so attenuation factor. So L fiber, that means what? Loss in the fiber, L fiber equal to alpha into L. L is the distance. L is the distance between the two stations. Alpha is the attenuation constant. What is alpha? Alpha is the attenuation constant. So please make note of it, all of you. So once you're done, we'll go to the next slide. Power budget. Okay. So when you're talking about the power budget, for the power budget analysis, the fractional power losses in each link element is computed. Okay. For power budget analysis, fractional power loss in each link element is computed. The power budget analysis can be studied for the two different stations. So now for today we'll just see this particular names. From tomorrow class we'll understand what is it nearest neighbor power budget and largest distance power budget. Okay. So power budget analysis, the fractional power losses in each link element is computed. The power budget analysis can be studied for two different stations. So what are the two different stations? What are the two different ways of analyzing is nearest neighbor power budget and largest distance power budget. Take these two headings, all of you. So now dear students, so do you have any problem with any subject?